So I thought today I would do a little video, a lighter subject, more less heavy, not so heavy, right? All my stuff is pretty heavy. This is a light, more upbeat video about my favorite food substitutions that have made a really big impact on my nutrition. Okay, so let's get into it. Number one, I love peanut butter. Peanut butter doesn't necessarily love me back. I mean, it's really high in calories, and I just love to put peanut butter on so many things, including my oatmeal. So a little substitute I found that's been helpful is peanut butter powder. It tastes, basically you take it and you mix it with water, and the macros are so much better on this. 70 calories per serving instead of peanut butter's like 190, 200, and that's all good. Like, still have peanut butter. If you love peanut butter, have it in moderation, which I still do. But I also mix this in with like my oats and stuff that already, it's like I'm not gonna taste it with the water mixed in, like it's still gonna be good. So peanut butter powder was a good one. Next up, this was one that I wasn't so much eating, but my son was eating all the time, was like these little fruit snack thingamajigs, and they're like mixed fruit, fat-free, made with real fruit. All right, whatever. Just gonna eat the real fruit, right? Let's just eat the real fruit. I don't know, this is kind of looking good right now. Okay, I need to eat lunch right now. 1 second. Okay, next up we've got, does anybody have like that snack food that they just love and have a hard time giving it up? Okay, so I actually, for me, this is Reese's peanut butter cups, but I don't have any here, because if we had them here, see, I would not eat them. I would like eat them until they were all gone. So this is the closest thing I could find. These I actually put in my son's lunches, like a little treat for him or whatever, but it represents Oreos peanut butter cups. Not Oreos, it represents Reese's peanut butter cups. But these aren't really healthy either, so. What have I replaced it with? I like these, which is like, I know it says, what I like about it, it says like, I think one of them says like gluten-free or some shit, but I don't care about gluten-free. It doesn't matter to me. If you're gluten, you need gluten, you don't need gluten, whatever, that's cool. But for me, okay, so why I like these is because no artificial colors or flavors, no high fructose corn syrup, which is something I really try to get away from, is high fructose corn syrup. Unless I'm gonna have like an all-out dessert, which I will have a dessert once to twice a week. That's my treat to myself. So these keep me on track because I have a huge sweet tooth. Another good one for a sweet tooth is like that Halo Top ice cream, which I don't mind that, but I'm not a huge ice cream person. So this is what those look like. Little cookie. I don't know if you can see the icing. But yeah, these, like in the middle of the afternoon, I just eat one of these with a coffee. It's a little treat, but it doesn't really take me off track, you know? So that's good. Okay, next up we have, that's it. Sorry about the back. Doritos. These are so addictive. They actually make these with the intention of making them as deliciously addictive as possible. Fact. I'm not a huge Doritos person. My husband loves Doritos, so that's why we have them here. Haven't really been able to get him on board with the full like nutrition makeover or whatever you want to call it, but he also doesn't have like a shitload of weight to lose like I had to lose, so there's that. He's got his Doritos. But so I don't get tempted to eat the Doritos, I've got my veggie straws. Veggie straws are cool because you get like, I love sweets, I love like snacky, like I told you, snacky foods was like a huge thing for me to get rid of. So it's like, if I'm having, you know, I want to 1 hour per week, I watch a show. I watch Blue Bloods. As funny as that may seem, a show about the police, right? But I do like that show, and so I like to have a little snack when I'm eating it. I'll have either popcorn or I'll have the veggie straws, because I can get like that crunchiness, that like snacky texture, but without, again, throwing me all the way off my nutrition. So those are great. Okay, next up we have Reese's Puffs. So my son really likes these. I really like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it doesn't like me back, you know? So instead, for breakfast, I eat, dun dun dun, raw oats. I actually, and this is a good thing to note with a lot of these, is the first time I had this, I actually didn't really care for it. But then I kind of told myself, you know, it's a sacrifice. I'm sacrificing now so I can be healthier and live longer. And then what I found is, like, the more I ate something, I sort of got used to that, and I liked that I was able to like start seeing progress with how my body looked, how I was performing in the gym. And then it kind of became like, okay, like now if you would ask what do I want for breakfast, actually I would always pick this, because I mix this with peanut butter powder and evaporated milk, and I actually really like the taste of it now. So it's all about finding things that you can sort of adjust to, and maybe you don't like it in the beginning, but if you know it's good for you, I would say give it a try and see if you can stick with it, or add a little things to it that make it taste better for you. Okay, another one to note is treat. You should have treats for yourself. So these are chocolate covered raisins from Costco, and my son eats these for the most part, but I also snack on them whenever I feel like it. And another thing I like that isn't super bad, but it tastes really good, is organic chocolate. Like, I like dark organic chocolate, and I get these at Costco too. But it's important to have things, I feel like, for me anyway, when I was fully restricting myself, initially when I lost the first 90 pounds I had to lose, I will admit I got a little unhealthy with how I lost that weight. I was under eating and over exercising, which is very unhealthy. But at the time, I actually didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't really know I was doing anything bad for myself. So this time around, and there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss. So what I had initially, all I focused on was weight loss, how to lose weight, how to get the weight off. I didn't really know anything about fat loss versus weight loss. I thought it was all one big thing, okay? So now that I'm learning more, I'm focused on fat loss, because I'm overall happy with like how my body looks, but I know I still have fat that I want to lose, but I also want to build lean muscle. So I'm focused on building muscle and losing fat, which you can do at the same time. It's very difficult, and it's best if you're a little overweight to begin that process, but you can definitely lose fat and build muscle at the same time, which I did not know the first time I was losing weight. So I had a lot of like unhealthy eating patterns, and as I've learned more about nutrition, I'm not an expert on nutrition. Don't quote me on any of this stuff. All I'm showing to you is things that have really helped me, and that I think is very helpful to maybe share with you. Okay, one more I'm going to share before I hop off here, because I really need to get my ass to work, is milk, which isn't, I mean, milk is milk. If the stuff obviously that they're putting out nowadays in the grocery store, pasteurized, overprocessed, everything like that, it's not like milk is a huge part of, you know, my nutrients, obviously. But so instead, I just cut out milk. I don't drink milk for real. I don't drink it anymore, but I do drink almond milk. So this is a way for me to, with my coffee, I used to have creamer. So I guess I could have held up a creamer, like if I had a creamer to show you. But the milk, Nico drinks the milk and I drink the almond milk. I put the almond milk like in my protein shakes or on top of my coffee because then I like the way it tastes then. And it was a way for me to get rid of the creamer, but in a way to where I didn't feel like I was missing the creamer every day. I'm like so easily distracted. Chocolate. I don't usually eat on the sofa. You can tell probably. It's good. Let's see why he likes these. Now my teeth are probably brown. Just one more. I've heard that before. But I'm gonna pop off here. I'm gonna go to the gym for a bit and then I'm gonna do photos for a few hours for my business. Okay, so that's basically it for today. I just wanted to hop on and share these little tweaks. They don't seem very significant, but then they compound over time. So every time I'm not eating that horribly like high calorie creamer in my coffee day after day after day. And for me, like I drink coffee twice a day. So that adds up over time, right? So I just make one little tweak here, one little tweak there, and before I know it, all this stuff starts to actually add up and make a difference in my nutrition and helping me get to my fat loss goals. So that's why I wanted to share it. Okay, so I touched on this a little bit earlier, and I wrote down a few things because I wanted to be very clear. The first time I lost the weight, I did it in a way that I wouldn't recommend other people do. So this time around, as I'm learning things, excuse me, I had a big ass lunch. So as I'm like learning things, I am telling you about them as I go. Because for instance, one of the things I used to do is I used to think like certain foods were good and certain foods are bad. And I could see how this video might kind of give that message. But really what I'm trying to say is, do I eat Reese's? Yeah. Do I eat Oreos? Yeah, sometimes. Do I eat pizza? Yeah, I eat pizza. Do I eat donuts? Yeah, I eat donuts. Do I eat some of this stuff, like the unhealthy versions? Yeah, I do. Now, do I eat it every day? Hell no, I don't eat it every day. For the most part, I go off the 80-20 rule, which is like nothing is off limits. Like if I want a donut, I can go eat a donut, but I shouldn't go eat a donut every day, because that's not going to get me where I want to go. So I go off the 80-20 rule because one of the other unhealthy things I used to do was like highly restrict certain foods. Like this is totally like off limits. Never ever are you to ever have pizza because it's so horrible. It's going to be all of my calories. I'm not going to be able to eat for, It was just like, okay, calm down, chick. Like it's not the end of the world. If you want a pizza, go have the pizza. But then don't have the pizza tomorrow, have the pizza once a month or something like that. Like keep it in check. So I go out to eat once a month and I have dessert once or twice a week. I try to keep like my really, really unhealthy things in check so that I'm not like going way off left. I'm not like veering way off course of where I want to be. But at the same time, I don't feel restricted. Like if I go over to somebody's house and I want to eat the food that's there, I can, and I don't have to feel bad about it because, the next day I'm going to be home and I can be more eating back my regular foods that are, just what I'm used to and sort of like what I crave. But it's nice to treat yourself and it's nice to be able to indulge and not feel like that's the end of the world. Like kind of like how I was with drugs. If I relapsed, I just felt like I'm fucked. That's it. It's over. But with food, it doesn't have to be that way, One last unhealthy behavior I will touch on that I did the first time around to lose weight. I was over exercising. I was completely beating my body up in the gym, not giving my muscles enough time to recover. Like I was training all sorts of muscle groups all at once, just completely thrashing my body and then not giving it the amount of time enough sleep to recover and enough, days in between, like hitting legs really heavy or back really heavy or chest really heavy. Whatever I hit, I was hitting it again the next day. So I don't even really understand how I saw results doing what I was doing, but it wasn't the healthiest way to go about it, and it's not how I'm going about it now. So now I don't overexercise and I don't undereat. Back then I was eating like 1,500 or less calories a day. I can't even imagine doing that now. Right now I'm eating closer to 2,300 calories a day, and I'm really only about 2 inches off of the size I was when I got married till like the size I am now. When I got married, I believe I was a size 10, and right now I'm at about a 10, 12. Sizes and everything, I go more off measurements than anything, and I think I am 2 or 3 inches wider in the waist than I was when I got married. But again, my goals have changed, and I'm focused more on how I feel and my mental health, as well as my physical like appearance and everything like that. It's not the number one priority, whereas before that was like all I cared about. And I was over exercising. I was exercising, I think 6, maybe 7 days a week, probably closer to 6. And I was exercising for like an hour, hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half per session. And now I exercise for, on a day where I don't even feel like doing anything, I'll just do 15-minute like quick resistant training. It's better than nothing, right? It's all about consistency over time. So I'll do 15 minutes up until 1 hour, 4 days a week. If I really feel like going after it, 5 days a week. That's it. And these aren't super intense sessions either. Yet I'm still seeing results, and I'm seeing results that are much more sustainable. So I just wanted to note that. So that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to pop over to the gym, and then I'm going to take photos for a few hours for my business. But yeah, so I'm going to add and sprinkle throughout little nutrition types videos as they pop in my head. I'll record them. And I'm also going to try to sprinkle more workouts throughout, because I know a lot of women maybe don't weight train, or you're worried about getting bulky or gaining a lot of muscle, which muscle gain doesn't have to be a bad thing. It basically is going to lean you out and change the shape of your body. So I'm all about gaining muscle, but I'm not actually getting like physically bulky, like, like a guy or whatever. You'd have to actually be very structured, and you would have to plan that if you wanted that amount of muscle gain, which isn't what I'm going after. So of course I'll include some workouts just to show you examples of the types of training that I enjoy, which is it used to be more heavier weight, and now with my injuries it's more dynamic, functional type movements with a few compound movements mixed in there. So yeah, I'll pop that in now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, I thought I would include a workout today, type of workout that I do at home when I don't feel like working out. Here I'm doing lawnmower rows. Okay, and next I'm doing shoulder press compound, which is basically just a rotating shoulder press. You do one arm, then the other arm, then both arms together. It makes it a little bit harder when you're doing lighter weight, like my home weights are just lighter. So that makes it a little bit harder. Okay, next I'm doing hamstring roll-ins on the ball. You can do these with furniture sliders too, are really hard, or maybe even a towel. I haven't tried a towel, but sorry for the really weird angle. Yeah. But these, I feel it in my hamstrings. It's actually really challenging, even though they look kind of weird. Next I'm doing overhead skull crushers, and I'm doing these on stability ball. Stability ball makes a lot of these movements harder because your body has to work to stabilize itself. And then I'm doing weighted crunches for a little bit of an extra challenge. And sped those up. And then I'm doing a push-up on the stability ball, which makes it a little bit harder than just regular because I have to keep myself balanced, and then I'm on a little bit of an incline when I'm doing them on the stability ball. And last, I'm doing supported crunches. I recommend doing crunches only on stability ball, especially if you have back trouble. I really feel the stretch. And last, I'm doing raised leg raises. All right, that's it.